Some people remove it for reasons. If they're not comfortable, you put a seat that is comfortable for them. Excuse me, JB? You leave the other one. He's comfortable with the seat that you found, eh? Remove it. So, honorable members, we are here to have an interface of the Public Accounts Committee with the accounting officer, vote 016, Minister of Works and Transport, on the Auditor General's report for the year ended 2024-25. Our agenda is going to be prayer, introduction, communication from the chairperson, presentation of responses of the accounting officer, consideration of the responses, and thereafter we shall adjourn. Introduction, I'll begin with colleagues, members of parliament. Prayers, please, sorry.
Yes. Good morning. Let's humble ourselves and we say a word of prayer. Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliament for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with the abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trust in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner, as we promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interest you have committed to their charge. Amen.
Introduction, colleagues.
Chair, thank you. My name is Vasali Rasman. I come from Bujiri.
A very good morning to you, Chair, colleagues, and our guests this morning, Frederick Angura, Tororo South. Thank you.
Morning, Chair. Morning, colleagues. Morning, our guests. Basil Bataringa, Kashire North, Mbarara.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, everyone. Richard Wanda, Bungoho Central, Mbale, and a member of the committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm Choma Zave, MP Vanda North, and a member of committee.
Thank you, Chair, members, and our invited guests. Lokwang Phillips Ilukol, representative of Napore West constituency, Karenga Karamoja. You're welcome.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Emile Kugonza, Member of Parliament for Buyanja East County in the Kivale District and a member of this committee. Very pleased to have you this morning.
Staff, oh, there is one member, please.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Silas Augon, your well-wisher, and I'm the MP for Kume Municipality. You're welcome.
Thank you, staff.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Max Komakech, the clerk to the committee.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Odong Augustine, Research Department. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'm Edison Karamaji, the committee economist.
Thank you, Chair. Hussein Ismail, the budget officer. Thank you, Chair and honorable members. Good morning, everyone. I'm Konya Willie Salongo, Assistant Manager Parliamentary Liaison, Office of the Auditor General, attached to Park. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. My name is Fortunate Katushale, Auditor, Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning to you all. Thanks, Chair. I'm Geraldine Claudia Koth, Senior Auditor, Office of the Auditor General.
Do you think they have heard that name? Kindly repeat for the sake of these people of Bulambuli who cannot.
I'm called Geraldine Claudia Akoth,
Oh,
Senior Auditor.
they have heard. We are going to improvise for more seats this side. Max, kindly work on it. Let's have our colleagues comfortable this side. Please arrange to have them more convenient. This side, I realize your PS is not yet here, but you continue with the introductions. If we are done, we shall start to handle.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. My name is Barbara Namugambe. I'm the Under Secretary. The PS is on his way.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. My name is Emily Bilekeyaho, Assistant Commissioner Accounts, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Thank you, Chair and Honorable Members.
My name is Andrew Arvaro, Assistant Commissioner Procurement, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. I'm Engineer Joseph John Kamuchivi. I'm the Acting Commissioner in charge of Duka, and I'm standing in for the Engineer in Chief.
Good morning, Chair and members. My names are Dr. Engineer Andrew Grace Naimanye, and I'm the Commissioner Road Fund in the Ministry of Works.
Morning, Chair and members. My name is Engineer Dr. Timothy Tibesigwa, Commissioner Mechanical Engineering Services and Chief Mechanical Engineer.
Good morning, Chair and members. My name is Ndikudiayo Richard, Commissioner Statistics, Monitoring and Valuation. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members. My name is Nelson Wenaga. I'm Acting Commissioner Transport Services at the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members. My name is Engineer Tony Mgenyi, Acting Commissioner, Construction Industry Development and Regulation, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. My name is Stella Kasemire, Principal Assistant Secretary, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members. I'm Colonel Ronald Turiambona. I'm the Director, East African Civil Aviation Academy, Soroti.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. I am Engineer Msingu Julius Tinka, Principal Engineer in the Menezes Division.
Good morning, Chair, Honorable Chair and members. I'm called Engineer Rachel Ngonzewa. I'm the Assistant Commissioner in charge of road maintenance, Ministry of Works and Transport. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Engineer Benis Uganda. I'm the Assistant Commissioner, Road Infrastructure Protection, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Morning, Chair and members. I'm called Engineer Jimmy Adwek. I'm a Principal Engineer in the Division of Road Maintenance.
Good morning, Chair. Apollo Kashanku, Acting Assistant Commissioner, Road Transport Regulation and Safety.
Honorable Chair and members, I'm Abbott Natwinda, Principal Internal Auditor.
Honorable Chair and members, I'm Nanyondo Betty, Assistant Commissioner, Internal Audit.
Honorable Chair and members, I'm James Sekonga, Assistant Commissioner, Fund Management, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. I'm Engineer Philip Chitimba, a Senior Engineer in the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. I am Alex Baguma, Engineer, District and Community Access Roads, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members. Engineer Thaddeus Rugolovi, Senior Executive Engineer, District Community Access Roads, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members. I'm Engineer Lawrence Ojambo, Senior Engineer, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Brian Tenyo, Engineer, Civil Ministry of Works and Transport.
Morning, Chair and members. My name is Navega Priscilla, Senior Assistant Secretary.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Engineer Jacob Lumonya. I'm Assistant Commissioner in charge of Equipment Maintenance and Operations, Ministry of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Yusuf Semiaga, Accountant.
Good morning, Chair and members. Engineer Edward Gabula, Principal Engineer, Rail and Water, and Project Coordinator, CREEP.
Good
morning, Chair and members. I'm Engineer Ivan Bianguye, Senior Engineer, Minister of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members. I'm Irene Kabazira, Principal Engineer, Minister of Works and Transport.
Morning, Chair and members. I'm Engineer Bihemaiso Godfrey, the Assistant Commissioner, Road Construction and Rehabilitation.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Martin Mahanji. I'm a Principal Accountant, Minister of Works and Transport.
Morning, Chair and members. Emmanuel Opio, Senior Accountant, Minister of Works and Transport.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Samuel Adewa, Education Officer at Transport, Minister of Works and Transport.
Yes.
Good morning, Madam Chair and the honorable members. My name is Bagaya Waisro, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Works and Transport. Sorry for the late coming. There was too much jam, Madam.
Honorable colleagues, good morning. There are some of our colleagues who have joined us later. Kindly introduce yourselves and we will proceed.
Chair, good morning everyone. My name is Wamakui Medina, Member of Parliament, Elgoni County, Lagos District.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, team. My name is Taiwo Habat, Member of Parliament and member of this committee.
Honorable members, good morning once again, PS and your team. Good morning. This is the Public Accounts Committee, Central Government of the 11th Parliament. We want to, first of all, apologize for the congestion at the gate. It's because of the Women's Day preparation, the event that you've seen in our lobby there. So we do apologize for that. If you had informed us a little late earlier, we would have given you a shortcut. You would have used the Prime Minister's side and accessed from this other side. So we do apologize for that, but we want to welcome you. This is Parliament of Uganda. I think you've seen the state of roads. This other side, it's a little better than how it is around Luzira as you go to the Ministry of Works. We were there yesterday, but we're like, if the road that goes to the Ministry of Works can look as ugly and bad as that, then what happens to areas like Sembabule, like Bulambuli, Kashari, Karamoja? We had a very bad experience yesterday. A lot of dust. Then we were like, hey, if this is the Ministry of Works and this is the environment you go through to access the ministry, then what happens? The ministry was like a local government. But all in all, we appreciate you for the services that you render to this country. When somebody speaks about a sector called roads, we speak to bridges, maintenance, and all these others. You are aware of your strategic position in regard to the economic development of this country. And you are aware that access to a good road network across the country is a human right. People have got accidents, people have lost lives because of the bad roads that we have in the country. People have lost on business. So we are going to straight away go to your mandate, which is to plan, develop, and maintain an economic, efficient, and effective transport infrastructure and services alongside promoting safe engineering works. We are aware that UNRA is now part of you after RAPEX and also the Uganda Road Fund. So our expectation is efficiency in provision of services, time and quality when it comes to execution of the mandate of the Ministry of Works and Transport. And therefore you will give us a comment about are we already settled in, because we know there were so many staff from UNRA, from URF. Have we absorbed all of those? So update us on the current status. Then you'll also make a comment on the UPDF Engineering Brigade versus the rate at which works are implemented in this country, because we've observed from various entities that the UPDF Engineering Brigade is overwhelmed. It has so many contracts, some of which are not executed, completed in time. The reason was underfunding, but you'll explain. Then you're also going to give us a brief on the fate of the private sector in regard to construction. because we realize that most of the works now go to the engineering brigade in the health sector, in the education sector, and it looks we are frustrating the private sector. And in many entities, we have observed a low bidder turn-up when it comes to the contracts that are advertised. You'll also tell us about we are grappling with the challenge of having different prices of cost unit of construction works, same or roads, buildings, yet these entities are in the same environment. A gravel road of 1 kilometer in Zimbabwe can be twice, in terms of prices, in terms of contract value, the road, say, in Mukono, yet at times we are in the same environment. So comment about the unit cost of a road in this country. Then you will also comment about the aging road equipment across all districts in Uganda. This has been a general complaint. Your road, your equipment is aging, but the maintenance cost is high, though entities are given a very meager budget when it comes to maintenance. And also you need to update the country why we have a low budget under road maintenance. We should differentiate between equipment and roads. Honorable colleagues, if there is something to add, please do as the PS responds. Yes, Honorable.
Who are you? Thank you, Honorable Chairperson, for the opportunity.
Sorry, I thought I had introduced myself. PS, sir. My name is Gorethi Namuga. I represent the people of Magola County. That is Zimbabwe District. I'm the deputy chair of this committee. Our substantive chair is in prison, and all of you are aware. So he needs your prayers. So, Honorable Rokwang.
Thank you, Chairperson, for giving me this opportunity. And I'm happy that Uganda has the best engineers in front of us. There are two, I can see they are very good. Others are district access road engineers, and others are whatever. But I overheard them saying we came late because of, is it traffic jam? We know that roads department and transport is a prerequisite. It's a function for development in the country, and therefore you own all this. Now you have got a traffic jam. Whose responsibility would that be? And what are you telling the country that you are going to reduce that menace that has reduced development? Number two is we are talking about hard to reach areas where Karamoja is. Karamoja has stayed for long as hard to reach part of this country, and it has remained underdeveloped in the hands of the more qualified, experienced engineers in front of us. What have you put in place to ensure that the dictum of saying that we cannot wait for Karamoja to develop, to develop this in your presence? We have talked about the access roads. There is an engineer who said that is it a commissioner? But all are engineers in this way. That is responsible for district access roads. In this sense, in my district, the district therefore is, apart from being inaccessible, hard to reach, even inside there, it is hard to reach to all those, I don't know which access roads are used, meaning the engineer, the district engineer puts in his budget. You even bring in what they call indicative figures, but sometimes when they put these things, you ably cut this, continue saying this is okay. Did you do the normal verification of the budget given, such that the cutting, either through the Ministry of Finance, but however, the district engineer, inspector of district access roads would have seen the reality in some of these things. When you cut and you don't inspect, what do you expect that it will be there? Will you access what you are meaning?
Thank you, Honorable. Let's be brief. Yes, Honorable Emide.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. I would like to start by thanking the Ministry for a number of roads that they have been able to do in the Bunyoro sub-region, which they baptized as oil roads. We are still waiting for those others, the coffee roads, the tomato roads, and others, because these, much as they are trunks, there are a number of other roads that are quite critical for the real rural-based people, and these are the access and the feeder roads. But my big issue that I would want to hear from the ministry is about the plans for Lake Albert transport system with ferries to be able to connect with our neighbors, particularly the DRC, because you know a number of districts in the Bunyoro sub-region share the Lake Albert and of course also the Rwenzori for purposes of improving trade, for purposes of tourism. And then the other aspect, we've talked so much about the roads, but there is a very big problem around bridges. Lake Kibale is gifted with a number of natural big rivers, River Nguse, River Muzizi, River Mbaya, but to connect with our neighboring districts is a big challenge. There are actually about 7 critical bridges, and the ministry is aware. And since I joined the parliament, I have actually, year in, year out, I've been, even with the district leadership, sending reminders, but no action. How I wish this would be informed about where we are today, because the communities are really demanding, and now that we are trying to promote Paris development model, agriculture modernization, and all this, roads remain very, very critical, and bridges.
Honorable Bataringaya. Oh.
Thank you, Chair. When you become a member of parliament, you become a very regular user of road transport to and back from the constituency. Sometimes you need to travel at night. Now, there are many roads that have been constructed, including the oil roads my colleague is talking about, and the trunk roads that we have that cut across the country. When traffic is reporting about accidents, they talk about overspeeding of motorists. But for me, I've observed one of the major causes of the accidents is unmarked roads. Yeah, these lines you mark on the side, the one dividing the road and the other side. Because these big vehicles, and I told the Deputy Speaker when he was chairing in Parliament some time back, these big trucks are called what? Sino trucks. Sometimes drive in the middle of the road at night. They have very strong lights and then flash you off the road because majorly they are not knowing which side to stay because the roads are not marked. That is the key point, including the northern bypass here, very close here. So what is I asked in the House, what is the use of the O&M money that we vote and budget for? Why? Because roads, when they were constructed, if you notice, Madam Chair, they are in the contract marked. But after that, the road will grow old and there will be no more marking of that road or replacement of that paint so that the road is marked and good for users. This is my key question.
Thank you, Honorable Taiwa.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, mine is simple. I heard you requesting to give a standard rate of working on these roads, and I wish they could also include district roads and community taxes, if there is any standard rate per kilometer. And secondly, this is the direct accounting officer. Sometimes we have been approaching you as the representatives of the people, and you have made promises which are never fulfilled. Maybe you could also make a comment on that. I thank you.
Honorable Wanda.
Thank you, Chair.
In line with what Honorable Tayebwa is saying, some of the promises actually have cost some of the members. They are coming back. But I would be happy to hear about the progress of the Namutumba Nabumali Road, because it has stalled no activity. Then, Madam Chair, after the floods that swept Mbale, many roads went, and there was a promise to rehabilitate those roads, including the rural roads, and it never happened. Now, my colleague is talking about the oil roads. I have heard the tourism roads. Now, for us who stay in the mountains, we also have tourism, but in Elgon, we do not have that. Maybe in the budgeting, and somebody is saying we can have the coffee roads also. So the alternative, I was saying the many of the roads and bridges went. Specifically, the bridge at Nambale in Ibungoho is broken. What has been done, we have barricades, but now the remaining road is very small, and soon that road may go because it is pounding heavily. So the only alternative road would be the Busano Road, which is not worked on. I think I want to bring it to the attention of the PS and the team that those roads need to be worked on.
Honorable Mudimi.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, some time back, PS, there were some contracts under road improvement which were given to various districts and constituencies. One is in my place, but a contractor abandoned the work. He has done, I think, 20% of the works. He abandoned the work. When I asked him, he told me the contract expired. So he can't. First, there were delays of getting money. Second, now when I asked him, he said, no, the contract expired. So what can we do with such contract? Now, secondly, how do you respond to disasters? We had a disaster in 2024 November, to be specific, on 24th, Wednesday. The only bridge leaking gas to 5 sub-counties in Upper Elgon was destroyed. Now, up to now, 5 sub-counties are on their own. Actually, it was a challenge we recent in the election when the president was at the side of Luabulambuli, people coming down, it was a problem. And it came to his attention. So, how do you respond to such disasters? That road was under UNRWA initially, which I'm sure it was transferred to you. Engineer is a Kuani way of it. We are Gavuruganya, the bridge up there in Gundu. He knows that we has been in Mbare for long. So that bridge is nowhere, and accessing up there is a nightmare. And really, whoever talked about it, either LOC won or what, they lost the election. I was lucky because whoever talked about it lost.
Thank you, Honorable Choma.
Thank you, Chair, for this opportunity. Well, whatever we are talking about look like policy issues, but they are also accountability issues. When we were promised that with the RAPEX would have well-maintained roads, would even have cost savings. But we are yet to witness that, and some of us are of the view that perhaps we had the RAPEX. Honorable Chair, I represent Uganda North. And the roads in Uganda North were well maintained under UNURA. But since the RAPEX, the roads are in a very bad state. The good thing, the roads we use are the same roads used by our friends this other side. I think like only 10% of the roads in Uganda North have been maintained since the RAPEX, and the rest are in a very bad state. You will be promised next quarter becomes next quarter and becomes a common song. Were we really ready for the RAPEX? What's happening? And which hope can you give us?
Thank you, Honorable Bangura. As Honorable Silas, you will conclude.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I just want to bring to the attention of the accounting officer. There's a general here. There's a general here in charge of aviation, the aviation school.
A colonel.
A colonel. We're told here by General PS Agriculture that when you're addressing the chair like she is today, you refer to her as ma'am. So we have adopted ma'am. So accept the army says your mom, to give you the respect. I hope you will also justify that. So ma'am, I wanted to bring to the attention of the accounting officer that on the 22nd of November 2025, we hosted two heads of state in Tororo, and I was privileged to sit with the two heads of state, and among the things that came up was the Malaba Tororo Road, which is highly congested, and this was looked at as one of the encumbrances as far as movement is concerned, and I think it is common knowledge to you. So a concern of expanding that road.
Chair, you should mention the heads of state. There is somebody claiming.
There's no problem.
Here.
The expansion of that road to enable easy movement, especially for the trucks accessing the factories they are concerned, the Toro Cement, Simba Cement, and then those that are coming, was unprecedented. And then also a bypass to separate the movement of the southern corridor cargo from the northern corridor, that is Malaba, Kwapa, and the dropping off to Magodes was one issue that came up strongly, and I wanted to know. I remember the Honorable Minister Echeru was asked to make that call immediately. I want to know the progress towards that. You can take a whole day traveling in the 4 kilometers between Malaba and Tororo girls, especially for the girls who have known TGS. A whole day because of the congestion. So separating movement of cargo and especially traffic, dropping a bypass to Magodes for the northern corridor and then leaving this one. Then two, we are having roads under construction, even within our suburbs here. We passed a law that clearly defined the width of roads. But instead, what we are seeing, some of these roads are getting even narrower. Are we really up to date with the law that we provided to support the width of roads and enable maybe the dualing of these roads? Lastly, I know there is a concern here of funding. Every entity will talk of funding, and you're about to tell us of your funding challenges. But across the world over, including in developed countries, go to China, go to Dubai, go where? There are road tolls all over to enable them support generation of revenue. Have you put up a strong case for us to mobilize local revenue? Because we all need to move on good roads. To mobilize local revenue, other than only the express, Entebbe Express, even these other roads, in order to keep our roads well maintained. In fact, the cost of repair now of our vehicles is just a road here connecting to Chiwanga, connecting where? It's a nightmare. You sympathize with your car. You just sympathize with your car. And you never know how long it will take to have those roads fixed. But if we can mobilize our own revenue through tolling here, if you put up a very good case to convince the authorities above to accept tolling, we may generate revenue that can help us bridge these gaps. Then lastly, there were roads that we put requests coming from our districts to be taken over by the central government, and that time it was UNRA. Those requests have been lying there. You know how much we give the districts. The resources are meager, especially for us who have been in the big mother district. I know my efforts have yielded the new districts that are going to come, but before they come, can these roads be taken over? The road fund that sub-counties get, there are some sub-counties that have not been getting this money, as much as the road fund has come back in. But some sub-counties are not accessing these funds.
Thank you,
Can we step up
Honorable.
on that?
Honorable Silas and Asman, the last Honorable.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm using that in order to observe continuity and consistency in titling. Madam Chair, I'm Silas Augon, and I'm the MP for Kumi Municipality. I want to welcome the team before us. You've done a lot of work. Some people may not be able to recognize, but for me, I see even from a distance. Thank you for your efforts.
And they have clapped.
Yes, because sometimes we don't want to appreciate people, even when they have done a good job. Issue number one, when is the Kumi Ngora Serere Road coming on board? When is the construction?
Doing very well, sir.
Yeah, it is now work which is coming. When is it going to be constructed? When are you deploying the machines? Number two, talk about the Jinja Kampala Expressway. What has happened? Number three, there was a plan to have an international airport in Soroti. Look at the developments around us now. We have Lira City getting a stadium. The sponsor tourists are going to be coming to the country. And I don't think it will be proper to expose them to this Mabira jam. They should be flying in. So, in terms of development of air transport, what is the plan for Soroti? Because I heard about that plan. The other one is about the aerodromes. When I was in primary school, there was an aerodrome in Ngora at Frederica Hospital. In Ikumi Hospital, there was one. These days, I see animals grazing all over there. Is there a plan to revamp those areas so that we can improve on them? And finally, Madam Chair, we need to develop the air transport so that we manage the country transport well. Kenya now, when you go there, you find, I think they have more than 3 airports. And domestic flights are many. But for us, we are stuck with one mode of transport. The leg transport mostly accompanied by road
Which rail transport do you have rail transport here?
A leg. Leg transport. Most people are here. Yeah, so really, I think the Ministry of Works is highly responsible, and you need to help us on this. It is only us who are being left behind. At our level, we should be having domestic flights now. If I have an urgent thing in Kumi to do, I must get on the road and waste 6 hours. Yet a flight would cost me only 30 minutes. I would go, operate, come back for park work. Madam Chair, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Asmani.
Chair, thank you very much. One relates to the quality of the vehicles on the roads. Yes, when you move around the country, there are many DMCs on our roads. And I know that your ministry and the police, but especially your ministry, there is a commissioner specifically designated to deal with the vehicles that are moving. But if you really decided to do your work, many of the vehicles on our roads should have been written off a long time ago. And that partly explains sometimes the increasing levels of accidents. Whenever police issues accident reports, one of the issues, Chair, relates to the quality of the cars, of the vehicles. There are DMCs, many of them are not roadworthy, but they are on the roads. So what mechanisms does the ministry have to ensure that every vehicle that goes on the road is roadworthy, including those of some MPs? Two, PS, I was attending a committee where outdoor advertisers were complaining about the manner in which outdoor advertising is done. That sometimes these people put billboards along your roads. You seem not to have a clear policy or regulation that governs these billboards or outdoor advertising. They invest a lot of money in them, they pay taxes, and your teams are always on the move, removing them. No notice, no regulation. So I want to understand what policies and regulations from the ministry actually govern this outdoor advertising on your roads. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Watalinga had something, and kindly in summary as we proceed.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity once again. Yesterday I was coming from Barara, and I stopped in Mpigi specifically to look at the bridge down there, which is, I don't know whether it is a bridge or something being constructed, because
Katonga,
the road
around Katonga.
No, not Katonga.
Where exactly is that?
Mpigi town.
As you come to Mpigi town.
Yes. So because it reminded me that road, Mpigi Expressway, from Kampala, Busega up to Mpigi, has stalled for about 2 years. And the road is closed and we have to go through Mpigi town. These days the bypass is closed. So I took interest to know, so now I remembered that since I will be meeting in the Public Accounts Committee, we shall be meeting Ministry of Works, I stopped to see. There is no activity going on, and for a year, or more than a year, it is closed. So I wanted to know what happened to that expressway, why is their work not going on? Then lastly, I'm very sure, because the roads we use are the same. When a pothole develops on a road, all roads across the country, wherever they are, even in the city here, those potholes are fixed. But 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, that same pothole is back. So what is the quality of the material that is used to fix these potholes, to make them reoccur and reoccur, and therefore negates the work that our engineers
Thank
are
you,
doing?
Honorable.
Is it the material or is it the engineers?
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable Dimi.
Madam Chair, I want to echo on what the Honorable Ambassador talked about the DMCs. There was a ban on the importation of vehicles for certain, is it up to 15 years? I think it's still on. Now, recently I was surprised. I saw people from my place there, they cleared a vehicle, model 1987. Just hardly a week. Is it still working? Yeah, I even asked them, how did you manage to go through this? But for them, they say, for us, we paid for the vehicle.
Thank
Model
you.
1987.
Thank you, Honorable.
I guess 87 is not 15 years.
Thank you, Honorable. Mr. Pierce, as you make comment of that, also comment on the issue of capital flight that you contribute to in regard to award of most of the major contracts to foreigners. Most of the major contracts are awarded to foreigners. Also comment on the issue of consultancy services. Sometime back we had the Right Honorable Nabanja say, for us she doesn't see the essence of use of consultants. When you came here, we saw a very big team of engineers. She said, the very consultancy firms are owned by these very engineers. So comment about the use of consultancy services for the design and construction of road works in the country. And also speak to the frameworks contracts that you have across the country. For example, in Zimbabwe we have a road called Chabakuza Matete and Zimbabwe Matete Mbilizi. This road was very useful when Katonga got issues. But from then, we are left to, you know, to stay on our own. We have a contractor that seems to appear every time he gets pleased, but the comment is they are not paid. So these framework contracts at the end of the day become useless because these roads are not maintained as expected. Also comment about the road gangs. When the Uganda Road Fund was brought to the ministry, we are told these people who sweep towns where you employ them, they take 6 months to be paid. So do you still need the road gang, or you should, close that business? So PS also comment about the Nakauka Road. Nakauka is a road that is common to everyone. There is some singer here, King Saha, normally talks about Echigudoshe Nakauka. So Nakauka Road has become Nakauka. Kindly comment about Nakauka Road and how far you've gone in regard to progress, and also comment on the road reserves. We see people being chased off the roads after construction, yet they construct when you are there. So what is the contribution of the Ministry of Works to ensuring that we do proper planning to avoid these demolitions? In any case, you even fail to pay people. You demolish their structures and you disappear. There are so many people that you have promised to pay in regard to compensations. Buildings are demolished, but you take years without compensating them. So kindly comment on those as we produce to other areas. Thank you. Honorable Oshawi, I request that, anyway, being, is part of us, but part of some of us in a special way. Please, you can, accountability is...
Thank you, Chair.
Please.
Chair, my name is Patrick Nsamba. Chair, my name is Patrick Nsamba Oshawe. I thought it was important that this meeting runs. I'm sorry I came a bit late because my health was not doing very well. Madam Chair, I was worried that I would not find you, but I have two queries. One, I don't know whether somebody has asked about Uganda Airlines. Madam Chair, if somebody has asked about Uganda Airlines, I can stop there.
No, we knew that you were coming, and that was a reservation scheme on our part.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, there is a lot that came earlier on when the then CEO of Uganda Airlines was appointed. And recently I saw a letter by the President instructing the board to appoint a certain individual. And I wondered whether now Uganda Airlines board receives instructions from the President. They can no longer do work by themselves. So I really needed that to know that, and whether Ministry of Works, probably the instruction from the President came with a consultation from you. Mr. P.S., whether there was any consultation or the President sat wherever he was and he thought that the person to be appointed was that person. I'm sure you saw. Then, Madam Chair, lastly, I come from Kasanda. Before I became a member of Parliament, Madam Chair, there was a lot of promise by UNRWA to construct a road from Mianzi to Chivoga. Every financial year, Madam Chair, there's been a lot of promise to the people of Kasanda. And what surprised me, in the previous election, the Prime Minister came and he told the people of Kasanda, the reason why we are not doing this road is because you voted in Zamba. And that's what the Prime Minister gave as the reason of government for not constructing that road. Madam Chair, much of the gold that is sold in this country comes from Kasanda. It's one of the biggest contributors. I have gone on roads. We do a lot of coffee as the people of Kasanda. So if you're looking for economics of a road, Kasanda is one of the places where we would say that economically people are empowered. Economically, the road will be useful, but unfortunately, every financial year, we are ignored. I want to hear from the PS whether after closing UNRWA, those stories were not buried, and we are going to go on a new page to start afresh in reminding this government that the people of Kasanda are good taxpayers who would have deserved. Because, Madam Chair, I've gone into some places where you can move for 2 hours without meeting a car, but the road is well paved. You don't meet vehicles, but you find the cows on the roads, and those people have a road. But in Kasanda, where we are contributing significantly through coffee and gold, we are always ignored. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Nsamba, for being that observant. And PS, we want you to commit yourself on this. You know, we hear most of these statements from leaders from the government side. These might be your bosses, but you need to come out clear on this. You know, you have not got a road here because you voted badly. So I want you to clarify to this country, what is the relationship between a member of parliament and constructing a road? How do we come in? You are the ones who tell us eyes on, hands off. When did our hands become on when it comes to construction of roads? Don't we pay taxes? So you must come out clear on this, whether construction of a road is dependent on a leader in that area. Number two, Honorable Shabe has spoken on the issue of the airline. Honorable colleagues, you are aware that Entebbe International Airport operates under strict international safety and security standards. But for purposes of safety, I want to inquire from you about the posters of the current president. Posters, ebipande. These posters, not a portrait of a president. They are put all over the airport, all over. So can you advise us about the standard that, you know, I don't know your contribution to that, but also to remind you that elections ended. But when you go to the airport, everywhere, there are posters of the president. And to advise us in future, where do you go to apply if you also want to take your posters to the airport? Who do you apply to such that? Because we would also want to display ourselves. We have been in election, we would like to display ourselves. Where do we go to and how do we apply? Thank you.
Information, Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable Sir.
Madam Chair, when I saw those posters at the airport, in the lounge, I took my presidential candidate poster and pinned it there. But Madam Chair, before I moved out of the loose to come back, my presidential candidate, Chagulanyi Robert, the poster had already gone. And I asked who has taken it away from where I pinned it, and nobody would give me an answer. Nobody would give me an answer, Madam Chair.
And PS, on a serious note, even in the toilets of the airport, everywhere, in the toilets, everywhere, posters, you know, is that the best way to protect the gains of this country? But you can advise us on that. You have, Asman, lastly, please.
Chair, during introduction, a good number of the officers that side are in acting capacity. Yes, I don't know whether you took keen interest. I want to understand from the PS, those who are acting, how long have been there, and if they've been there more than 6 months, why it is so. and I took particular interest in Apollo Kashangu. Apollo Kashangu is where? Chair Apollo Kashangu contested with me at Makerere for guild presidency
So that
in 2000. Yes, and I won him. I became guild president. He became guild speaker.
Hey.
I have not seen him for a long time. But why is he acting? Others. Why don't you confirm him and others? So I took keen interest in Apollo Kashangu. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Mr. Piesa.
Thank you, Madam Chair and the members. These are quite a lot of issues, and
Yes, kindly pull the microphone closer so that good.
these are quite a lot of issues, and I will ask my team to support me to respond with their permission.
It's acceptable, sir.
Madam Chair, as a general statement, one member said the issue of funding. Funding has been a critical issue in our operations. The budget has been under suppression for 3 consecutive financial years. Like for the then UNRWA, it was by almost 80%. So later on, when we realized that we are not moving, we went to Cabinet and put our case. Cabinet agreed to give us an extra resource. We got part of that resource, and we are waiting for the rest. So without improved funding, most of these complaints will come up. Madam Chair, on the issue of the bad roads to the ministry, I hope it was not just by the way, that road is under construction. Secondly, Madam, that location of the ministry was a temporary measure